with that, a very brief video package as we welcome you to our first of what will be three Top Rope Spoilers episodes for WrestleMania weekend. This is On the Ring Apron. I'm Steve.
And I'm Kia.
And she's tired. She also has a hurt toe. We will not show that on the air. But we're, again, if it's WrestleMania week, I know I'm excited as we're only about 36 hours from heading for Philly.
Woo, woo.
So we are super close to being on a plane and getting to only think about wrestling. There we go. With our voice being good. I softballed it in. What did I know was going to happen?
Well,
it was fun while it lasted.
That was short-lived. Cody, if you are watching.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a struggling lawnmower right there. Thank you. This is what happens when we record late at night, but this is our last one for the day. 2 more tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Hey, we can wrap things up, but we've had both of the ladies have already had an hour's worth of kikiing through 2 Pour the Tea episodes earlier this week where they talk about Alyssa's first trip to Philly as well as Kia's return home to what she calls her second city.
Brotherly love, yes.
Yes, they talk about her toe. It's
And
important that we bring that up. We were in the middle of a tornado warning at the time, so go figure. And also threw some predictions in there of some fun scenarios that could potentially happen for the main events of both night 1 and night 2. So that's a lot of fun. Go check it out. Plate Exchange went up live a little while ago. It's going to premiere 11 o'clock on the 4th, which also is a very important day to us in particular because it's our 10-year wedding anniversary. No, I'm blessed with the fact that I have 2 wonderful women who, I get to hang out with on a daily basis. It's wonderful. I'm married to one, best friend with the other. It's a wonderful life. So, I've got it made. I'm a happy man. Still thinking about your toe? Well, we're trying to get her better so that way she can be able to walk because we're going to be doing quite a bit of walking, but we definitely want things better. But either way, let's go ahead and get into Stand and Deliver. We are going to try to keep this one a little bit briefer because we do have a lot to record. Typically, we usually give ourselves 5 or 6 minutes, but we're going to go down to 4 on this one. But we also get some additional video packages because it's Mania and I felt like it. Yeah, well, I wish I could claim all the credit, but it was, very well done, very put together. So, ready to definitely see how things manage themselves out. Did we have a sponsor for this episode? No. Not for this one? Okay. I have a Starbucks cup, but I don't believe they were sponsoring this one. But hey, Starbucks, still feel free to. I'm going to need your interview. Oh, good grief.
I'm okay with it.
And see, this is what I live with. But either way, let's move to the first match of our Stand and Deliver episode. It's the only one that doesn't have a video opening to it, just because the match was announced literally at the tail end of NXT. And that is expected to be on the pre-show card, and that is a match between Joe Gacy and the chairman, Shawn Spears. So we're going to go ahead and get the clock rolling here. Spears, of course, making his definite surprise return. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Okada that was coming over from New Japan. It ultimately ended up being Shawn Spears instead. And basically, he has done what the chairman does best, and that is put chairs in people's backs on a regular basis. Both of these guys have screwed each other out of an opportunity to compete at Stand and Deliver for the North American Championship. So now they will go head-to-head against each other in what is expected to be the kickoff show. One's crazy, one's crazier. I'll let y'all discuss who's who.
I'm glad to have him back. I know he's in a different persona. You have to understand, I'm used to him as like the perfect 10. So with him coming back as the CEO, chairman, Shawn Spears, this is a different feel for me. We know Jacy is very crazy. If you can be put in a straitjacket and laugh your way through that and be okay, then that shows you what type of mentality you have. It's either there or it's not. And for him, it's 50-50. We clearly saw that at the end of NXT when he went to Ava and he said, and then she left and he fell out.
Gacy just continues to show off his nutty persona. The fact that no matter how much you beat this man down, he is not going to stay down. Dijak tried for quite some time, and whether it was a sign of respect or not at the end, the fact is Gacy kept getting up, and now Spears is doing the same thing to him and going to his old protege in terms of Ava, who's now running things to make this match. I think that one might have been done as just a favor from their time with Schism. But Alyssa, you've had an opportunity to see Gacy for quite some time now. Spears, I know, is somewhat new to you. You didn't get a chance to experience it during the Ty Dillinger days. But just some initial thoughts on this one, considering this is a standard match, not a no disqualification.
You walk down the street.
She's starting to rev up. She'll get there. By the end of it, she'll be laughing.
No, all I know with Gacy is at least that man gives the same energy. I don't do crack and I don't condone crack. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say anybody watching, we do not condone the use of illegal drugs or legal, even the misuse of legal ones. So take it with a stride.
Yeah. All I know is he's been doing a lot lately. Something, right?
Well, the one thing about it, though, is that Gacy keeps getting knocked down, but also he's not winning, though. But, pride for getting back up. So you wonder in a match like this, especially with it falling on the kickoff of the biggest NXT event of the year, you just have to figure, where is each person's side as this is kind of the build-up to where everyone's going to be next year. We didn't actually mention the scoreboard ahead of time and got a few seconds here because I needed to use every prop available on this TikTok Live in order to be able to make the video packages work. Alyssa and the OTRAs are both tied at 77. Kia's got 72, and I've got 64. I will just wave from the very back of the line as I am going to finish a distant fourth this year. Alyssa trying to go back-to-back. OTRA's trying to win their first one. Of course, this is the final singular event for Season 4, and then WrestleMania, both nights will be the end of Season 4 plus the start of our Season 5. So Alyssa with the lead. I think I know where you're going, but let's make it official. Gacy? Okay, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
I'm going to... I don't know, something tells me that the chairman has something up his sleeve. And so,
probably Jeff.
Probably in his hand. We don't know. I'm going to pull for the chairman in this one. I mean, nothing against Gacy. I love him. He's great. He is. If it was what it was, I feel like he should win this, but I don't see it happening. If he's on a losing streak, I think it might be.
I see Shawn Spears going over in this one as well. I think he has come back for a reason. I think you needed to give him a chance to show off his addictive side with his new chairman persona here in NXT. So I do feel like this is the start of him building himself, and he's likely going to be the next person challenger for the North American title, I would imagine. So I like Spears going in this one. And I also could potentially see this being the swan song for Gacy.
Yeah.
Because Gacy, as well as Carmelo, of course, helping Cody train when he was working his comeback, so I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see the swan song for a couple of guys on the NXT roster, and this could be the end of it for Gacy as well. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can do that while we're watching this one, but let's move into... Yeah, little video packages. I'm trying to do something special for this one. The ones for NXT aren't quite as long, but the WrestleMania ones will be good, so definitely make sure you tune in. But this one is a triple threat match for the North American Championship, which we have hiding around here somewhere. It's over there on the left. Try her sweetest to try to get to it. And she did. Successfully. But right now it is in the hands of the giant man that is Oba Femi, Roll Tide. See if you root for your basketball team while you're also competing there. Alabama, of course, competing in the Final Four this weekend. But he will face his toughest challenge up to date as he tries to run his undefeated run as champion through Stand and Deliver, but will have two very massive obstacles in his way in both the forms of Dijak and Josh Briggs. Now, Briggs finally showing off his new seductive side, saying, I'm going singles, and has been willing to beat anyone and everyone that has stood in his way, including his old friend, to step in the way. Dijak, of course, feeling like his win over Gacy finally put him in the driver's seat to be able to earn a championship match of some kind. Oba's looked unstoppable, but the two of them together can potentially match up with Oba's strength. We'll start with Alyssa on this one. Just general thoughts about the runs of any of these, and this is the only multi-person match on the card, by the way. He's beaten Lexus King a couple times. Dragon Lee's who he beat for it, and then retained against. Yeah. So.
And then you have Josh Briggs, who has really impressed me over the last few years. He's gone from kind of being like Wesley, kind of like, oh, you're known for looking okay, you know, kind of finding his stride. So I look forward to seeing.
Definitely going to be your powder keg match of the night. You got three very big boys or big meaty men slapping meat or whatever whatever they run with Big E. But yeah, you've had a chance to see all three of these gentlemen in person. Just your general thoughts heading into this one.
So I'm going to kind of piggyback off what Alyssa said. I'm okay with Oba Femi because if he can beat Lexus King, that's all I really...
They do not like Lexus King.
That's all I really...
Although I think that's the point.
That's all I really need. I mean, have we seen that facial hair and that hair? It's take it back to the 80s or the 70s or wherever it came from. It needs to go back. Either way, let's move on. Dijak, I'm not really a huge fan of either, but he's taken his lumps. He's faced a couple of people. They've tried to put him over. It worked, but then it didn't. And you're looking at the fact now, not only is Dijak facing Oba Femi, Josh Briggs is too. The thing about the whole Josh Briggs storyline is I like the fact that his fellow teammate, former buddy, former best friend, however you want to view it, entered himself into the match saying, okay, you sit here and say I need to do this, do that, I need to have bigger, cojones or whatever. I'm going to do it by challenging Oba Femi. Briggs then say, hey, that's stupid, that's not what I said. And literally as his former teammate is getting beat up by Oba Femi, he's standing there having to watch, which has got to be a heartbreak thing for him because, even though we're not a stable and we're not close, we're not friends, I'm sitting here having to watch you take these lumps and get beat up. So at this point, I'm going to go in, I'm going to show him that our team was not a lost cause, and I'm going to take Oba Femi's title off of him, and by doing that, I'll show everyone what I'm made of. He's made this statement multiple times, hey, I'm going to show everybody what I'm made of, I can do this, I've got this, and like Alyssa said, this whole new stride of, I guess, heel versus, I guess he's a heel face or whatever. It's a good look on him. I mean, he was already good looking to begin with. It's just more so now. Oba Femi, I feel like he is a giant. He is massive. I feel like he's got two good competitors he can go up against. Some more than others, but I'm not going to even discredit what they do because I'm not doing it.
At the risk of you taking another 3 minutes in your time, you ate up most of our time, so I get no chance to say anything. But you're up to pick first for this one, so who are you taking to walk out of Philly with the North American title?
Okay, well, I'm going to have to make a head-heart pick. I love me some Josh Briggs, I really do. I'd like to see him walk away with it, but Oba Femi has stated his 2 cents and y'all aren't going to take this title off of me, so my head is going with Oba Femi, but my heart is really with Josh Briggs. So Oba Femi is mine.
Yeah, so your official pick is
Oba Femi.
I'm going to go Oba as well. I think you've built him up to be too strong in this instance. But I do think that this will be the one where you're finally going to maybe start getting the blueprint to beat him. it's going to take some folks with some size and 2 folks that together can match up with him. Also, typically in the run, anyone pulling for Briggs, typically when you have the 2 heel, 1 face type of triple threat, it usually never works out well for the face. Daniel Bryan being the lone exception back in 30, historic moment, 10 years now. But I'm going to go Femi to retain. Also, Alabama's playing that night, so come on, roll tide. Particular reason, or you just like? Got it. All right, so Femi across the board. We'll see what the OTRAs want to take. Again, check it out. Our sites, our community page on YouTube will have the prediction options for you tomorrow morning, so you'll be able to put your picks in here as well and go head-to-head. The OTRAs trying to beat all 3 of us this year. They're tied with Alyssa for the lead heading into the match. I think there's 20 total matches on the card this weekend, so there is quite a bit in front of us. But let's move into our next one.
Feel down, I feel low, no turning back, a miracle. Been walking in vain, yeah, ranting off the hill.
Our next match is for the Tag Team Championships, which is also next to Alyssa, but at least she'll be done grabbing belts after this one. We can just set it up or whatever makes it easier for you. Your stuff to spill over. But ultimately, these are currently being held by the winners of the Dusty Classic. I'll let you. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, that being Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker, who of course is pulling double duty for the last couple of weeks as he is now a member of the SmackDown roster. So a lot of people are speculating that this is probably going to be the swan song match for him, win or lose. But you have an opportunity to be able to give a new team an opportunity to stamp their legacy on the NXT Tag Team division. And that is the odd but also very fun team of Axiom and Nathan Frazer, who essentially won a triangulate tournament to be able to get themselves this championship match, ultimately earning their shot with a win on NXT this last week. Corbin and Bron, a team that really didn't want to be together to start things off, have looked almost unstoppable, beating teams like Carmelo and Trick Williams when they were still at their best, and have also been able to successfully retain over 2 sets of former champions in Chase U and the Don and Stacks. So they've proven that whether they do it as a team or do it as a pair of individuals, they are certainly capable of being able to present things on a good run. Thea, so we're back to you to start off the conversation, but let's try to keep this one short and sweet, though. But, you know, you've seen what all 4 of these guys can do. It's definitely power versus speed here.
Yeah.
So your initial thoughts going into this one for the tag titles?
I love Nathan Frazer and Axiom. I think they're a great pairing. I think they can get it done. They just have to stay on their game, be on their feet, and beat Bron and Corbin with the speed that they do have. Again, Bron and Corbin are more, I'm going to throw you around, ground and pound. Axiom and Frazer are high flyers, get it done, let's get in there, let's do this. Also, I'm going to make one statement, and I know it's going to come out of like left field. I have not heard Corbin say wolf dogs yet. I'm still waiting on that.
Still waiting on him to uphold his end?
Yes, I really am, because I don't like people that break their promises. You know, you make a promise, you keep it. The word is sound. So, for me, I'm excited about this match. I can't wait to see it. I feel like it's going to be a back and forth, but who's going to really walk with it?
In an ironic twist, we talked about, you know, power versus speed, and yet from a top speed perspective, the fastest person in that ring is actually Baron Corbin, or excuse me, is Bron Breakker. Is actually Bron Breakker in that particular instance. They say he can hit the ropes and go up to like 22 or 23 miles an hour, which is the equivalent speed of a cheetah when it first starts running. So
wow,
it's on up there, and you know, so Frazer and Axiom will definitely have to keep their guard up because you know the Bears only got to catch you once.
Right.
Alyssa, where are you leaning on this one?
You're gonna kill me. I was gonna say they'll be fine as long as they don't catch them. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know at this point. Okay. God. He sure is coming to kill me, y'all. In all seriousness, though, you know, I feel like this will be a really good match. I'm sorry. Obviously, I feel like it's gonna be like not who can last the longest, but you know, how long?
Speed works against power as long as you can stay out of the reach of the bear, but once the bear grabs you once, that's kind of it.
What I'm hearing, Corbin has speed and power, so he is the key factor in this.
Possibly, but and also, of course, you can't ignore the fact that Breaker, of course, is pulling double duty, so it would make sense for the tag team titles to come off of them for this particular one. However, I think they're going to swing this because it just seems like that's a little too obvious, and I really do feel like this is something to where the team has to be definitively beat. I'm way behind and got nothing to lose, so I'm going to be the one who's going to kind of go the direction that I don't think anyone's thinking. I'm actually going to go with Bron and Baron to retain. I think the OC is ultimately the team that's going to take it off of Bron and Baron, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe at the event at the UFC Center in early June. But I just, of all the teams that you could see beating a power team like Bron and Baron, I just can't see a speed team being the one that's going to ultimately get it done. That is no disrespect to Axiom and Frazer, and I don't think Baron's going to mind, traveling back to Orlando a couple more times. But I'm going with them to retain.
Think they'll push them farther than we're anticipating. I feel like some people are going to put this into the squash. I don't think it'll be that. I think I actually watched them. I know they'll put up a good fight, but I don't see them winning it. Maybe like with a disqualification. But I don't see them taking it.
Gotcha. Okay, do you see them winning though?
Well, I'm going to say from my perspective, understanding, not many people thought Kyrie was going to win when she did that young era, and I pulled for her all the way. So for me, I'm going to pick the speed team to win. Axiom and Frazer. I don't know, just something feels right. I know people are expecting them not to, so I'm going to go against the odds. I'm going to say Nathan, Frazer, and Axiom for the win, and that's clean. I think they're going to do it clean.
All right. We'll see if they're able to pull it off. They'll definitely have the crowd behind them for sure. But that Philly crowd, is rather ruckus. Mm-hmm. But let's move on to our next match, one added late on NXT as well. Added, as I said, late on NXT this last week, as we do get what would be the second women's match of this particular card. So you kind of knew that they were going to throw something in there for this particular evening in terms of the women's division. And you end up getting 6 of the best. Some of them have been here for a little bit. Others are up-and-comers. But you get the new heel team of Kiana James, Jacy Jayne, and Izzi Dame taking on the face team of Fallon Henley, Thea, and Kelani Jordan. You see a number of people in here, such as Jacy Jayne, Kiana James, Fallon Henley, tag team champions together at one point. And then, of course, Thea Hale, the ever-energetic member of Chase U, who's also trying to find her own self. And then you see the new up-and-comers in the future of the women's division in both Izzi Dame and Kelani Jordan. So you're getting a little bit of everything here in what is going to be a very intense and very personal matchup, as ultimately this all stems from Jacy Jayne kind of telling Thea to grow up a little bit after she finished off things saving Chase U, but did it because she wanted the spotlight back on her. So Alyssa, we'll let you kick things off on this one. Where are you leaning on this one?
Now, all I'm saying at first, I'm gonna
Speak. Preach.
Not in this room.
Preach. Tell Alyssa for
like Jacy actually wanted the spotlight. I'm not saying a female friend. Like had a good friend in Judy. Couldn't be like side by side one of these people.
The door.
Then you have Kiana and Fallon. Fallon was trying. Kiana was big. Woo, so crazy. But I'm gonna mind my business. You're not my friend, so it doesn't matter. But could it be me? Anyway, in all seriousness though, I feel like I don't want to say this one's random. Kind of like.
You found a way. You found a way to get 6 more women who have worked a lot of good storylines this year. You found a way to get them on the biggest card. Maybe not for the titles, but you found a way to get them on the card and on the main card nonetheless.
I'm gonna say, y'all know that Thea held kind of grinding my gears a little bit with her hyperactivity energy. I feel like she probably had ADHD. Probably still does.
I think we'd be used to this.
You think we would? Either way, I'm glad that Thea's actually seen what Jacy Jayne really is, who she really is, in the fact, like, I'm gonna piggyback off of you, Alyssa. Fake friend, no need friend. You did this to get the attention, girl. What? That's the wrong type of attention to be trying to get. Two, Jayne, she showed her true colors from jump when she was her and Fallon were tag team partners before they were tag team partners. So there's nothing new about that. When it comes to Fallon tried to warn her, said, "Hey, you know what? I know fake friends. Kiana James was fake. I knew it. I saw it. No one believed me. It is what it is. It was what it was. And now we're done." Wish list 2.0. I mean, a wish list. Tiffany Stratton wannabe. She can go ahead and sit sideline because, girl, why? No. I feel like Tiffany would agree with me. I am the Amazon Prime version. You are the wish list. Go sit down. You will not steal Tiffy Tuesday or Tiffy time from me. Good day. Friday, whatever. I'm just saying, and when it comes to Kelani, go for it, girl. You got this. I don't know what else to say. And don't let no one talk ish about you and your superpowers and bring you down because, yeah, you got this, girl. I believe in you.
Alyssa, you're back around to your turn going first, so where are you heading?
Like I'm gonna do good on this anyway, so I'm just gonna go with Fallon, Henley, Thea Hale, and Kelani Jordan because I feel like they got to start getting with some stuff to start with fake friends.
They've been the team that's kind of been on the one on the receiving end, so maybe an opportunity to be able to exact a little revenge. I like it. Yep.
I'm going to run with the Bad Girls Club, and that's what I'm going to call them. And no, I'm not a fake friend. I just like bad girls feels. They are just like the greatest for me. Also, I want to see what Kiana's going to pull out of her purse, and how Jacy Jayne's going to interact with Thea, and how everything's going to, how everything's going to fall into place when it comes to no new friends, fake friends, whatever you want to call it, this, that, and the third. This, that, and the other.
My pick's simple. Kelani Jordan's on that team, so that's good enough of a reason for me. Kelani, here. I wish you'd been on that Chase U calendar that we got, but Miss April also on the calendar for this month. So how fitting that Thea Hale would have an opportunity to lead her team. But I'm going to go with the face team. I'm going to go Fallon, Thea, Kelani. No shock to y'all, I'm sure, and no shock at all that we're going to be super excited. Me, especially at ramp side. Be on the lookout for us, by the way, because you will find us giving high fives and taking lots of pictures. But here's where I'm going to be on ramp side for this one. All I'm going to say is release the render, please.
You gotta wake up to a new day. Stop, you feel little gray. Break the cycle, and I stand in your way. Break through the sky.
Yes, you all knew where that was heading. My absolute dire loves in NXT sweethearts are here. We just talked about Kelani. She's working her way up the rankings, but the two sweethearts of my love and life on NXT are right here battling it for the second PLE in a row. They went head-to-head at Vengeance Day, which we were at, and now we will see them live at Stand and Deliver. I know Roxy's not going to give me a high five, but Lyra might. Yes, I can tell you've got something to say.
Don't hold me out with that. And second of all, let's go back to NXT where Roxanne literally over the last couple of weeks has portrayed herself as a bad girl. And don't get me wrong, I like bad girls when they do bad things, but this right here I feel like is an outburst, a cry for help. I get it. You didn't lose your title. I get it. You've been saying
Breaking
that.
Lyra's arm is not considered just an outburst.
It's an outburst in my opinion. It's a cry for help. It's an attention-seeking thing. It's not working. I don't believe in it. I don't like it. And you know, you would think
I do.
You would think I really didn't like face Roxy, but I really hate heel Roxy. So that should tell you something. I like the fact that Lyra literally has called her shot. She really hasn't missed. And as far as being on Metaphor and being on that session, which is I think session number 11.
Supernova sessions.
Yeah, the Supernova sessions, and that's I think session 11. I feel like Lyra said what she said. She's like, you know, when Becky had this title, you weren't saying ish. When Tiffany had this title, you weren't saying ish. When Indy had this title, you just mad because she climbed the ladder faster than you. You were talking ish about that, but you know she moved on. It is what it is. Now I have the title. I'm noticing a trend. All heat's on me. You're mad because I have the title and I won't relinquish it. I won't give it up. And through that whole thing, once she got through putting you through the table, Roxanne, she was on her way to actually figure out how she's going to keep her title, her baby, and how she's going to defend it. So, outburst, cry for help, whatever. Get it, Lyra.
Listen.
I'll say for the team. Roxanne is trying to stand on her business, which she feels like is her, you know, truth. You know, she didn't really lose the title technically, like in the ring type of way. So like I get it. It's gonna be kind of fight. You're trying to get back. You're having to go tooth and nail to the bone to get your opportunities. You feel like people are passing you up. So I get where she's coming from in that sense. But Lyra is also adapting her opponents. Lyra is doing her homework. Lyra is doing what she needs to do. She's like, hey man, you can feel how you want to feel. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But all I know is I'm walking in with my title, and she plans on walking back out. So
I think the one primary gripe that Roxanne has had before we get to our picks here is the fact that she, you know, yes, she technically never lost the championship. She passed out in a match against Satomura last year. It wasn't able to get it back in the ladder match that she was just able to get medically cleared for before Stand and Deliver last year. However, every title match that she has had has not been a full one-on-one contest. Even the one she got against Lyra last month was ultimately interrupted because of Lola Vice's cash-in and subsequent interference. So you ultimately just, Roxanne continues to feel like she's getting overlooked and getting put on the back burner, and now she finally earns her opportunity to say, you know what, I'm not holding back anymore. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to win the championship. Thea, you're up first on this one. Which way you heading for the women's title?
I'm going to go ahead and say Lyra will retain her title even if she has to do something underhanded, under the ring, above the ring. I don't know. All I know is she told Tatum that I'm going to have to adapt even further and be a totally different person. And I don't think Tatum did that too well because she knows who Lyra it really is.
And you have to wonder if that's going to be something that may play a role in all of this. And I see it, you know, that, but I also think that Lyra breaking away from the things that have made her the champion she is going to ultimately be her downfall. I do think Roxanne is in her head, and I do feel that adding the mix of saying, like, I can't beat Roxanne if I'm going to just be sweet Lyra. I'm going to have to take it to another level. I think we'll see a side of Lyra Valkyria that we have not seen. However, it's not still going to be enough. I am going with a title change here. I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez getting back the title she never lost. Roxy 2.0.
I was stuck on
This one was hard.
Because you are seeing that other side of Lyra. You are like watching her change a little bit. And I feel like she's also got Tatum with her. I don't feel like Tatum's going to be happy. So I feel like Lyra's going to retain. I feel like this is a good set of 3. So I could see them absolutely going at it again and then seeing how things go. Because I don't feel like Roxy's all the way there yet. I feel like she's got one more little level to get down into.
She loses this one, we can maybe see that
Yeah,
full snap at this point.
The full just, I'm snapping toes. Because, you know, she's over there telling people, like, oh, don't do her. Do my own thing. Like, you know, but I think there's a little bit more involved. So, I'm going to say Lyra.
Gotcha. All right, well, I got my moment to swoon and, you know, fanboy for a little bit, and I will fanboy some more on Saturday early afternoon, right from ramp side. Lyra, please high five as you go by, or whatever we can swing there. We can do the pose together on camera or something. We've done it before. We'll do it again. Let's let Kiana have a turn as her match is up next.
Cause I'll be there for you, watching my life. Goodbye as a Tony Ninja ride.
And with that, we do move to the co-main event. They have already announced that this will not be the final match of the evening, but I do anticipate this to be one of the more sadistic matches of the night. This one has had a lot of head games, a lot of mind games involved, but ultimately we do see the NXT Championship defended at Stand and Deliver as our current champion, Ilja Dragunov, who has held it since midsummer, will defend against the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. The D'Angelo family recently relinquishing the tag team championships, and the Don basically using his power, authority to move himself up the ranks to get himself into the championship picture, essentially taking it from Carmelo Hayes as well as feeding Trick Williams back to him. And the Don has wasted no time, basically putting Ilja in a spot that I think a lot of people have not been able to get to with the Mad Dragon, and that is essentially saying, like, look, you can be as angry or as mad or frustrated as you want to be, and yeah, I may not be able to fully get in your head, but I can do enough to keep you distracted. I have all the weapons and all the tools to beat you both in and out of the ring. And so now it finally all comes to a head. Ilja says, I won't give this up to you. It means too much to me. But the Don seems to have been a step ahead of him every step of the way. Going to let Kia go first on this one because I know this is the one she wants to chat on. Alyssa, I know, wants to chat on the next one, so we're going to let her go on that one. Fire away.
I like the fact. I mean, I'm still upset about the loss of the tag team titles between Stacks and the Don, the Underboss and the Don. It is what it is. We're gonna have to move on. The Don literally at every turn has snapped his fingers and got what he wants. I'm not mad at it. That shows you that he stands on business. If it's for the family, and technically it's still for the family, it's for him. He's doing what he has to do. He's put Ilja in a place where I've never seen Ilja uncomfortable at all whatsoever. And to over the last couple of weeks to see him at a discomfort level, it's like, hey, maybe the Don is in his head rent free. Maybe he's living there. Maybe he knows. You know, he said he's been a step ahead every step of the way. And from the way it looks, he has. The final component was this past Tuesday on NXT when they did 2 segments, and at the end of the last segment, Don said, you know, had Ilja walk through the warehouse past different people. Ilja looks kind of uncomfortable. You know, it is what it is. And he finally makes it to the table. The family shows up. The guys that he passed in the warehouse are there. And the Don's like, I'm going to do what I have to do to take this title off of you. And I know you're the Mad Dragon, but that doesn't matter to me because I'm the Don. I get what I want when I want. Nothing personal. It is what it is. And then he left the plate there. And as Alyssa and I stated on For the Tea, we both want to know what's on that plate. So Ilja, the Don, if y'all can bring that plate to the ring and open it up so we can see before the message, that'd be great. Thank you. Now, when it comes to Ilja, bar none, I feel like this is going to fuel him. He's going to get upset. He's going to get angry. He's going to be who he is. I feel like there's that fire that's going to burn underneath him. It's going to burn so much, it's going to help him keep not going to lose. Now, it's going to be a fight. I think this would be probably, in my opinion, I feel like the Don is very good competition, and this would be one of the ones that Ilja is going to have to, again, keep his head on a swivel because it's just who he is. But it's going to be a back and forth. We know what the Don can bring. We know what Ilja can bring. I cannot wait to honestly see. I can't wait to see the whole card, but this match is included.
Yeah, well, we all know your your love for the underboss. So I'm sure he'll be there, and she will no doubt have the ramp side chair for this one.
Right.
But also, you can't discount people like Adriana Rizzo being out there as well, as well as all the new associates that were introduced by the Don in the last NXT as well.
We need to put a ring on her name, Lady.
Excuse me. Listen.
With this one, honestly, I feel like this one smash probably the second place. Because Tony, he's been going like on a new level. Like I haven't seen like character wise, he is big. Like we've known he's done some crazy jump, but this one feels different.
It absolutely does.
It feels like he is on a different. And I don't say that lightly. It's very different.
Exactly. And it's exactly it. They let them have their title run with the tag titles to give them a good push, really push, Stax Lorenzo to that next level as well. But the Don's been here for a few years now, and it's time for him to potentially go win himself some gold. And what an honor he gets to get a chance to main event with Ilja, who frankly doesn't lose a lot. But you feel like this is almost like from a mental perspective, this feels like a 6 or 7 on 1 handicap match against Ilja, where he's going to have to beat some demons that essentially the Don is going to have set up around the ring. He's going to be in Ilja's head along the way. So I agree with piggybacking off both of y'all with saying head on a swivel, and you got to come with everything that you got. I go first on this one. This one was probably the toughest one for me to pick, just because I could see a scenario of it going in either direction. But I do feel like the best possibility here is we're likely going to see Ilja get called up, in my opinion. So I think we're going to see a title change here. I do think that there will be just enough weapons in the tank. The Don is going to go to a level he hasn't reached before, and I think his influence, amongst other things, will be what propels him. I like D'Angelo winning the NXT title here.
Same.
D'Angelo?
Yeah, he's operating on a different level right now.
I get that y'all feel like he's operating on a different level. That is great for the Don. Me, I'm not going to turn my back on Ilja. I feel like somehow, some way, this man's going to get that fire fueled. His eyes are going to burn bright red, and he's going to keep his title. So I'm gonna pull for Ilja.
Staying with Ilja.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But you still love Lorenzo, right?
Oh my God! Don't even. I am a Stax girl. But let's move on.
Well, either way, it's interesting because that in order for the NXT Championship to not be the main event, or the NXT Women's Championship, no disrespect, and we didn't show it during the Lyra and Roxanne setup, so I wanted to make sure that we showed that one along with the Lyra plates as well. But in order for it to not be main eventing, especially a non-title match being the main event, it has to be something super deep, super personal. We've seen it before with like Ciampa and Gargano. We've seen it with Gargano and Adam Cole a couple of years ago. But this one may be not just a bit of rivalry, but also a little bit of history. Let's take you into our main event. Hopefully that video package kind of sums it up well. I really thought that they did a fantastic job of setting up that last one. But prime target being the tagline for this championship match. Your biggest NXT match of the calendar year, set to be the rivalry that we were hoping we'd never see come to this, but it's here, and they're set to bring the house down as Trick Williams will get his revenge match against his former best friend, brother, associate, whatever you want to go with it, in Carmelo Hayes. Before I start the clock, because I do want to make sure that this is noted, let's get through the historical significance of this one, as it was mentioned on NXT by Trick Williams that this is the first time that 2 African-American men will main event a WrestleMania weekend premium live event.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot, whether you're Team Mello, Team Trick, whatever, you cannot ignore the historical significance of this. We all remember what a big deal it was when Sasha and Bianca did it a few years ago at WrestleMania, and now you look at Trick and Mello. They have been, honestly, the face of NXT for the last year. Mello, hey, 2-time winner of NXT Competitor of the Year. You wonder if Trick Williams is getting ready to do so. I believe he was the Rookie of the Year, if memory serves me. So we definitely have, the best match here, and the fact that they're going to let them main event. It's already been stated by Ava that they're going to tell the referee to be lenient, which means it's going to be as close to a no disqualification match as you can get without it becoming one. So fully expect that all stops are going to be there, but at the end of the day, the crowd is going to be into this one. So I'm now going to officially start the clock and hand it to Miss Mello over here. Mello Lover.
I'm glad you said it. Thank you. No. Don't be shy.
Y'all, Mello is like my Roman Reigns for NXT. We'll just put it like that.
Woo!
Anyway, so back to reality, because this is 4 minutes. So, child, the disrespect, the storytelling, I don't think they could have picked a better match for the main event. Yeah. Like, there are going to be some good ones on here, but I look forward to this one the most. Honestly, I might be looking forward to this the most out of the entire weekend. Like, because it's a good story. Like, they've got some good stories this weekend, but this one's something everybody can relate to. Your friend getting too cool? Oh, you getting jealous? That's crazy. What's going on? Oh, you over here doing me dirty in the back? That's crazy. Damn, it's like that. It be your own people, right? It be your own people. It be your own people. Because ain't nobody off limits. They were brothers, remember? Brothers! Yeah, don't be crazy. No, seriously, so they're about to tear you.
I love the reference that they made at the end, talking about how it's like you're dating my girl. Your girl was the North American Championship. My girl was the NXT Championship. And then when we both lost them, we both said we're going to go get our girl back. But then you're going behind my back to go try to get with my girl when I'm trying to get her back. You betrayed me at that point. But Trick's viewpoint is you couldn't handle the fact that, I was already becoming a bigger star than you have been in some time. Mello counters with, you've been hot for 6 months, I've been hot for 3 years.
Damn.
From an experience standpoint, he's not wrong. So it really is the master apprentice protege type of matchup here. Mello has been there, done it all, won it all. There's short of a tag team title run, it's the only thing missing. We already know he's main roster bound because he's already been going to Raw and SmackDown. Hasn't officially signed, unlike Breaker. But we know he's main roster bound here very, very soon. This potentially could be the swan song for him, and we might see him on Mania. But Thea, will let you jump in from here. Both of you, of course, have your individual feelings on not just the historical significance of this match, but also your feelings in terms of how this has all gone down. We've been feeling this one for months.
I feel like, if you ask me, I'm going to piggyback off of Alyssa again, because honestly, let me go ahead and give you credit. I love your enthusiasm. Yes, girl. Yes.
I'm sorry.
But the fact is, when it comes to this match, I did not until Mello put it in layman terms. He kind of, let's go ahead and be honest. He dummied it down for me a little bit. It makes sense that he would feel the way he felt. So now I can see it from why he did what he did on that particular. I kind of saw it when he explained it this past Tuesday. It helped even more. What I like between both these guys, they both went blow for blow, spoke the truth, put out their facts, said what they said, felt how they felt, and now it's a culmination. I feel like if you're looking for a storyline that's not main roster, which would be the Bloodline and the Cody and the Rock and the Final Boss and whatever, this right here This right here, boy, it is it.
You knew probably in September of last year, you already knew this was going to main event Stand and Deliver. This was where when were they going to pull the trigger on it? Because I think it's weird because sometimes they say the best hiding spot is directly in plain sight. It's like, I don't think any of us doubted that Carmelo was ultimately the one that attacked Trick. And yet they spent 5 months building up to the reveal of him going through Ilja, going through Lexus King, going through all of these different stories. I think Josh Briggs was involved for a while. All of these different people ultimately to lead to the person that we all figured it was going to be anyway. But at the end of the day, they still did such a good job at telling stories.
Exactly.
And you hit the nail on the head earlier, Alyssa. I mean, all the stories this weekend is good. This is going to be the one, though, that's going to have you in your feelings because everybody has been through this at one point where the person that was your best friend, the person that was your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband, wife, somebody of importance has done something that felt like betrayal. And whether it ended, a friendship or a marriage, or it was something that y'all had to work your way through, every one of us has felt the betrayal and the heartbreak of having someone close to you, feel like they do it. And both of them feel justified in the fact that it was the other person that started it, because as much as everyone wants to say the breakup happened when Melo hit the chop block, Melo feels like Trick did it the moment he said, "I'm going solo."
Swear. When he was like, "No, I don't want you to you don't want the ring." Okay. And he kept his mind, bet it up.
Right.
Fair. Woo! Don't play with me.
Bye.
So let's move to the official picks to wrap up Stand and Deliver. Alyssa, you're up first.
This is the other one.
She will have the ramp. She'll have the ramp side seat for this one.
She most definitely will. Oh, it does. She loves you, Melo. Just go ahead and know that it is what it is.
No, this was the other one that's got me kind of in a I don't know which way I want to roll, because it's like it's a head and a heart. It's a head and a heart, but they're both head and both heart. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Woo, boy,
how do they somehow both win?
How? Tell me. Honestly, I'm like, I feel like Melo's about to get caught up, so I want to pick Trick. But it's like, if you want to bring Melo up as like a big heel, you let him defeat Trick. Then he comes up here, we all hate him. Boo, giving him Dom treatment.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Both.
Yes.
Both.
Yes. Because you have to understand, and I agree with Alyssa's sentiment. You have to think it's been the Melo Trick game.
How am I supposed to choose? It's like me and Abby going at each other, bro. Like, no. Ugh.
But we do need an official pick.
No. Wait. You help Trick's cause be the biggest face in NXT. Melo off being the biggest. Like, how am I supposed to pick this?
Rick Williams. Yeah.
You already know. I have the shirt thanks to you buying the Trickin' Ain't Easy or whatever it is.
Trickin' Ain't Easy.
No, it really isn't, but it is what it is. I'm pulling for Trick. I know Melo made the comment, I've been hot for 3 years, you've been hot for 6 months. But like Melo, he's ready. His send off is now. He's good. He's good main roster.
It's been tough.
It really has, and now you're sending him off as the biggest heel to go up against someone in the main roster. I can't wait to see who he goes up against there. I'm pulling for Trick. You got this. I support you. Melo, I love you, but Trick, whoop him.
I would have had a hard time picking this one if this was on any other live event other than Stand and Deliver. You would put this on Vengeance Day, if you would put this on Spring Break-In or whatever, I would have had a problem picking this one. But because it's at Stand and Deliver, the answer is literally right in front of you. Whether you like it or don't like the answer, it's there. The Stand and Deliver main event is built for one reason, and it's built this way for years, and that is to wave off the guy who has carried the torch to give it to the guy who's going to be carrying it next. 2 years ago, it was Bron Breakker taking the torch from Tommaso Ciampa. Last year, it was Carmelo Hayes taking it from Bron Breakker to carry it. This year, Melo is now the one handing the torch, and he will get a chance to hand it in a historic main event to Trick Williams. It's going to be a bloodbath, and the two of them are going to show up and show out. The crowd is going to be ballistic for this match. This may be your loudest match of the weekend, and that's saying something. That's including Mania. Maybe with a Cody match, the Cody Roman match maybe being the only exception to that. But it will be Trick Williams going over on this one. Maybe you get one more at the UFC arena, maybe a rematch before, they send Melo off for good. But also, this is kind of your samurai fall on your sword thing. Yeah. Melo got the big moment, the LA Lakers thing. I wonder if they'll do something for Trick in the 76ers, the 70 Tricksters or something. Right. Trademark pending. Got to pay me if you want to use it. But I'm going Trick Williams here as well. But don't get me wrong. I'm going to be a fan above all else. I don't care who. Honestly, I don't care who wins. Just tear the Wells Fargo Center up. But that's been our Stand and Deliver special. Our first of 3. We're going to be back tomorrow to go over night 1, take a small break, then night 2. Anniversary for us, and then we're on a Braves game and on a plane. So we are so close to WrestleMania. We're almost there, but let's get through a few more. Parting words from either of y'all. Besides, yes, it's late and you're tired. You want to go to Good night.
I'm excited. Can't wait. Hate to do this, but I've got to go to the bed. Love you all. See you in Philly.
That's where we're going to. Gotcha.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow for our WrestleMania Top Rope spoilers. Y'all have a good night.
Night.